Hi guys. Oh yeah, what I was trying to say in my last video, but I forgot. I accidentally just ended the video instead. Basically, I was thinking, I saw this video of, it was about Chappell Roan. People were saying she had said she was raised in a trailer park, but then they found the house that she lived in, and it was like this giant, like 5-bedroom log cabin with or I think it had 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms or something. It looked super nice. It had this giant front porch, like very dark hardwood, like in the middle of the woods, like super nice looking place. But she said she was raised in a trailer park, born in a trailer park. But then this building that her family had been in the family for, I guess, generations or something. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe it was like 30 years, or maybe it was like 5 generations. I don't remember. I just saw the post. I was like, okay, like. So basically people were like, oh, she's like lying. I think her personal brand when she started her career was so different than what it currently is. And so I think her personal brand maybe is not where she actually comes from, but I don't think that has to be a bad thing or like the end of the world. I don't think it means people can't still care about her or something. Like, I think people want to take it as like, oh, it means people can't care about her. Yeah. It was definitely not a trailer park, but I think people were kind of joking, like, oh, like, if this is a trailer park, like, that's so nice, like, I'm happy for you, like, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Like, it's not a trailer park, but, like, at the same time, I don't know. Wait. Like, it's not a trailer park, but that she, where she is, but, well, I don't live in a trailer park, but I don't think I would have wanted to say that about myself for multiple reasons, but she was fine with saying it about herself, so I don't know. Not that it's bad, but, like, not that it's, like, it's not like, wait, where should we go? Here? I think I had coffee already. Oh yeah, I already forgot. I don't know. Imagine, okay, so she was kind of giving what I would have imagined, like, if Addison Rae's family owned a log cabin, but I don't really know where Addison Rae's from, but she just seems like she's from somewhere super nice. But also, that's my perspective of it, not because they're the same. I think it was only worth like $500,000, which is actually a lot of money. I have $0, but like, actually, but $0 in my savings, $0 in my checking. Well, maybe like 50 cents. Like, actually, which is good because it's not 0. Because, yeah. Thanks to my mom. I think I had like negative $70 and she paid it for me, so yeah. But so okay, I think what I saw from like Chappell Roan's, like, I guess people were like, oh, she definitely has so much money because she went to Italy, she signed a record label she signed to a record label on her front porch of this very nice cabin that her family has owned forever. Like, it was a nice place to me, but like, it was a nice place. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is a nice place. It was a nice place. But, well, because it was in the middle of nowhere, I think they were saying it was like 500,000. If I saw it, because I'm only from Florida, I would have thought maybe like $1 million, $3 million. I would have guessed $3 million because a place like that where I live would have only been built like off the water. And I'm very much, in Florida, like, it would have only been built in the nicest part of the county, or it would have been going to waste because everybody else needs a very small, like, family home with like 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, you know what I mean? Like, no walk-in closet, but it's got a closet, like, yeah. So my house definitely looks below the average economic status for my area, but if you had a very, very nice place, regardless of size, it would or like, especially if it's bigger and looked like this like log cabin, right? I mean, they wouldn't build it as a log cabin where I am, even though like hardwood is nice, but they would actually build it by the water or off the water a lot of the time, because it's going to be selling to people who already have a lot of money. So for some reason in the area, like they wouldn't want it to go to waste, because then the normal families won't be able to afford it. But if people are already planning to buy like a super nice place off of the water, basically it would be like, to me, that place would be like a castle, but to my general area, it would not be a castle. To the average economic status, only me personally, like not even like to my family, but well, maybe to them actually, because they would definitely kind of take on some of like the energy for the bloodline. Like I feel like everybody in a way has like some of the same overlapping with like economic status, regardless of where you physically are. Everybody would take it a little bit like this is basically a castle, but like actually like people would be like like I don't know, like my bloodline would definitely see it like it's literally like a medieval castle, like crazy, like worth a crazy amount, you know what I mean? Like people definitely have items valued as like, okay, this is a banana, but like if I didn't know, it could have been like $500, you know what I mean? Like not because they're so bougie that they have a lot of money, but because how valuable is a banana? If you were literally like starving, like you would still buy it. Like I don't know if that helps. So it actually overlaps a lot with like billionaires in a way, because they would be able to be like, okay, $500 for a banana, like deal, you know what I mean? It's just a banana. But like I would be like, okay, that's a banana, like that's above everything else because it's a banana, like but it's just a banana. Does that make sense? So to me, I would see where Chappell Roan came from. Like it's a literal castle. Like okay, she's from, like to her she's like, oh, I'm from the Midwest, I'm from a trailer park. Like I think she means compared to the other celebrities it isn't that nice, but people took it as like, how could you say you're from a trailer park? Like, which it's not a trailer park. Where I live is not a trailer park, because a trailer park would still be below where I am. And she, if you look up where she's from, like the log cabin, that is insanely above where I am. Like that's so funny. But I don't take it like personally. I don't know if people are actually from a trailer park and take it personally. If anything, I think whether she meant to or not, she's handing out some representation, because even if people lie about where they're from, they still are giving back a little bit. They're saying, don't worry, someone like me could even still be from there, you know? So if somebody was in a trailer park and they really needed to hear that, she could be helping them a lot, true or not. Because a little imagination and a good story is all you need sometimes to see how it could have even been you. Not because, you know, what if it's what they need to like find out it could have even been them? So yeah, I would never want people to feel like they couldn't also be in my shoes if I were in better shoes, you know what I'm saying? Or like in the future, like I would never want people to feel like they couldn't also be me. But also where I'm from is real. Or I wouldn't have made all these YouTube videos, dude. If it were fake, imagine the guilt I would have posting every video. Also, you'd have to actually live somewhere to be able to post every single day from that location. So, but I think because Chappell Roan didn't have like an account with like YouTube videos of herself at that location, she could even try to say, well, I lived at a trailer park when I made that first album, I just didn't want people to take it seriously even though my family lived somewhere nice or something. I don't know. Also though, her family had like the whole history of being very Republican, and her story now is that she's literally a drag queen, so it's possible that they rejected her because of politics, and then maybe she lived somewhere way less nice but wanted to call it a trailer park to give more representation, but she didn't live at like the grand house that they live at. I'm just saying, I would feel like if I stepped there, I would be walking into somebody else's castle, which would be like castle, like we're in, I know she was in the Midwest, but like I'm from Florida and clearly it did not have the same like start as her. So what I'm trying to say is I would literally feel like I'm walking into, for me, it would be the equivalent. There's this house, I think it's in Germany, or it's not a house, it's a castle. So yeah, even I almost like overlap the two. Like even in both ways, I overlap it a lot. But like actually, Like, what's a castle? It's a very nice house. What's a house? It's a nice castle. It's a low quality castle. I don't know what it is. I have a lot of like weird things like that. I don't know. But to be honest, I don't know. If I walked into a house in my area that's worth like $5 million, there's no reason to believe that they think they're above the average economic status. But for me, I would believe they are so far above the average economic status that I have seen that I wouldn't know if they have like human bodies in the freezer, but there would be no reason to think that they do because they think they're at an average economic status. And then they would see me and they'd be like, oh yeah, you probably sometimes feel like it's slightly below, but whatever. Like, you know what I mean? They wouldn't see the difference as giant. I would see the difference as I walked into a volcano that's somehow also a house. Like, oh. I would be like, oh, so it's like Minecraft. I walked into this like log cabin, but the walls are made out of lava, but it's in like survival, like, but I just have like this little dirt house. Like, you know what I mean? I would be like, oh, so you've spent time here. I don't know what this is. Like, which is what it is, you know, it's not like, but I don't know how to explain it. I would be like, yeah, so I walked into your house and I walked into Scotland, but you had the Loch Ness Monster in the freezer and that's real? Like, I would take it so much like that if it were like a $5 million house. Like, not because of the money, but because it just feels nicer to be in like environments like that, and I would just sense it and know, but I wouldn't sense it like normal. Like, I would literally be like, okay, yeah, so we're in Germany in this castle that you give people tours of, you know? That's where I was going with that. There's like a castle in Germany where I think it's been like 13, I don't know, so many generations back, but they've had it since like the 11th century or something. Like the same families owned it for like that long and stuff. I would think that's where I'm walking into, not because I'm stupid, but just because that's how big the difference feels. If I walked into like Chappell Roan's family's house, I would be like, oh, so this is this massive castle the size of my neighborhood, and that's how I would feel. This is the size, like, you know, I would be like, this is a castle the size of my neighborhood, and you know, your family's owned it since the 11th century, and that's how, and then you probably have human bodies in the freezer, and I would be like, well, what else is going on here, you know? Yeah, that's how I would feel if I grew up in Chappell Roan's situation. Allegedly, I guess she feels like she grew up in a trailer park, maybe, but I don't see it as evil that she maybe lied about that. I think sometimes when you are coming up with a convincing story about yourself that's sellable, you have to make sure you don't seem so privileged, you know? Otherwise, it would put her in the same category as Addison Rae, who I think is also doing amazing, but I think sometimes people saw her as someone who came from a lot of money. And so I think she created like a very interesting personal brand and stuff, but I think people definitely started out seeing her as someone who came from a lot of money, and I think that's how they would see Chappell Roan. They wouldn't want to take the artists unequally seriously or unequally unseriously, and so I think when she said she was from a trailer park, a lot of people lost the piece of the puzzle where those two have a lot more overlap, even if I don't know if they're exactly like from the same place. I don't know where they're from, but I don't know what the Midwest is. Like, if you showed me a map of the country, I wouldn't know which state is the Midwest. Like, I would know it's a part of the United States. I wouldn't know if it's Texas or Massachusetts or California or New York. It's not Florida, I think. So I wouldn't know that, but I would know it's not Germany. It's not like Italy. I don't know. I wouldn't know on a map though which one's Germany and which one's Italy. But I would know which one's Canada. And that Alaska is a part of the United States. But aside from that, I don't know what I would know. I may not know why one tiny little line drawn separates Alaska from Canada, or if they're connected or not. But I would know one's the United States and one's not. Yeah. So I don't see it as wrong for her to lie about being from a trailer park, because I think sometimes artists have that almost like psychosis perspective in a way, where they just make a choice and it's the sellable choice and then they have to just go with it for the rest of their life. And I think that in itself is its own little piece of purgatory, and that you don't really have to add to it, because they're always going to have no idea what it means to be from a trailer park versus where they actually come from. And I don't think I sound very supportive of Chappell Roan right here, but I actually do support wanting to give back representation, even if it comes from a weird place, because sometimes that might be what somebody needs to hear. Even if she wasn't physically born in a trailer park, it might be what somebody in a trailer park needs to hear. You can still get out of there if you want to, or it's not so bad to be from there, it's not so bad to stay, it's not so bad to get out of here if you want to, you know, it's not so bad to go where you want to. And by her being a drag queen, that actually helps so much, and I think people need to not forget how much she's giving lesbians and bisexual people, because people are saying, oh, she has a boyfriend, or she had a boyfriend in the past, whatever. Like, people are forgetting how much people deserve freedom to explore their own sexuality and not feel like they don't deserve that opportunity. And so even if she were somehow lying about being a lesbian or something, which I don't think that makes sense, but even if she were, she would still be giving so much representation, and so many people will be finding out, oh, it's fine to be a lesbian and to be from a trailer park, which is something you don't have a lot of celebrities saying, whether or not it's even true. Oh, it's fine to be a woman and be a drag queen? You really don't have a lot of celebrities who feel mainstream saying that to you. So it might be what somebody needs to hear. They can accept themselves. They don't have to like give up on their life or something, you know? So anyway, I feel like I am supportive, but I can also look at it realistically, that it is a giant thing to say. Oh, because if I would see a trailer park as somehow below me, but where she's from is a castle, how do you think somebody who's from a trailer park, not below me, like, you know, not in like a mean way, just like I can see I don't know, a house feels like it has more security than a trailer park, because it can feel fragile. I think maybe for them to, I don't know, I don't live in a trailer park, but I wouldn't try to represent it as like me, because I wouldn't know anything about it. I wouldn't know how to explain like how I ended up there and where I'm going and whatever, you know? Like, I feel like if somebody were from a trailer park, they would want to talk about how their family ended up in a trailer park. You don't see her going on like a podcast talking about how her family went from where they were, which might have been better, and then it ended up in a trailer park. But I'm not against people from a trailer park, but I think that Chappell Roan doesn't mean to be, but some people from a trailer park might have more angry perspectives of it. I don't know. But yeah. I can only speak from where I'm from, which is why it's in plain view also. So you can't get any misconceptions, because people would have misconceptions that I'm someone super rich just because of some quality. People have always been like, oh, if you're the same person as Christina Aguilera, which first of all doesn't make sense. People have always said that to me for no reason. I don't know, but they've tried to see where I am as somehow elevated in economic status, only because I know that there are some people who don't have access to what I have, and that is running water, like some food, like shelter. I know that there are people who don't have access to that, so I've seen a lot of economic statuses be below mine. And so people think because you've seen this many economic statuses be below yours, that you're somehow the same person as this random famous person. Maybe I've perceived more economic statuses being below mine than above mine. That does not mean that I don't understand where I come from, and it doesn't mean that I have money in my bank account. I still have 50 cents in my bank account at most. So, all right, you know, I think Chappell Roan probably saw how successful she was or was going to be, and wanted to give out some representation to somebody who might need to hear it. That's, I think, the whole thing. I don't think it was meant to be that deep, but I think where she comes from, it was easy for it to not be meant to be that deep, so it might have been an accident that it became such a giant deal. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye.